Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Jayne.
And we're SpielMill.
And today we're going to review the RPG game Quest Calendar. There's 3 of these. The newest one is Quest Calendar Voidspark Chronicles. Last year was the Gates of Terralon, and the year before was the Dragon Staff of Maladoria. So these are really fun, and even though the year's already started, these are a page-a-day calendar that is an RPG. And the last 2 years was more of like a D&D type campaign, and this year is very much a sci-fi campaign in space. So the themes vary, but they're pretty fantastic, and we're going to talk about it more today.
Yeah, so as Jayne said, the mechanism is that this is a page-a-day calendar, and so every day you are reading a little bit of an adventure blurb, and then you're having an adventure. And you could be fighting, you could be traveling, you could be looking around, you could be talking to townsfolk, you could be doing odd jobs to earn money. And the mechanism is very similar to a D&D campaign or an RPG campaign. You roll dice to see if you're successful. You, of course, have characters in a character book that you start out with at the beginning of the year and that last you throughout the year. You have scores for various characteristics. You can you have gear, weapons, armor, boots, different things like that. A lot of the characters have special abilities and spells and things like that. You can get health potions and meal rations, etc. All of which you get by rolling dice and being successful in your campaign or in your activities. And so it's really a simple, easy to learn mechanism that you have these adventures day by day, 6 days a week.
Well, the theme in this one is entirely in the story. I mean, this is a story-based game. Every day you have a little bit more story and some kind of challenge. Is it the best story ever? No, it's probably not the best story ever, but they're good stories, and they keep you engaged. And as your character builds over 300, you play 312 games, I think it is. The weekend is just 1 page, so it's pretty. You get a full story, and your character gets a full character arc, which is pretty fantastic. You get pretty attached to your character and their abilities by the end of the year. So it's pretty exciting in that way. And it's even technically replayable, although you would know the story. But it is definitely immersive. It's because it's a story. Now it's a little short. If you're doing it actually every day, it's only 2 minutes, so you're not going to get totally immersed in it in that way, but you're immersed in the story overall. So overall, I think it does really well on the theme and immersiveness. The creativity and originality in this, again, is in the story. I mean, this is all about story here, and it really comes through. I know last year's was the Gates of Terralon, and there was all kinds of, I won't do any big spoilers here, but you get to experience all these different worlds with different, whatever they have. I won't say anymore. So it's really fun. It's a fun story, and so there's a lot of creativity that goes into coming up with a story that has a good story arc, but also fits within the calendar day format where the story has to continue, and it always has to continue along the same path. So there really can't be divergent paths, but it still does a good job of keeping you engaged and moving forward in the story.
Yeah, they did a really good job of, number one, telling that story in little bite-sized bits every day. And number two, making it not feel totally forced that we're all actually on the same page. There's no divergence here. It's not like an actual RPG. But they did a really good job in kind of keeping everybody going that direction.
And there can't be. So that is based on the format. So
exactly. The experience here is really so unique and so fantastic. It's one of my favorite gaming experiences because it does last a whole year long. It is solo for sure. We do sometimes talk about the campaigns, but sometimes we're at different places. And the other thing I really love about this game is that the designer even said, you know, this is supposed to be for you. It's supposed to be enjoyable and fun. So make it your own, and don't be too don't feel too beholden to the way it's set out. So for example, you know, I was super busy at work last year for 2 months, and I just couldn't do my calendar. And so at the end of that 2 months, when I started to slow down, actually in December, I kind of caught up and I played it a couple adventures at a time, and that's okay. I loved it. It was great. Like you said, sometimes it's fun to binge it. So whatever works for you is a-okay. This is your experience, and you can make it what you will. And so I think that is really unique, and it really elevates this game to one of my top gaming experiences really ever. As you said, there are 3 years out. You can get them all online. There's no reason not to start now if you want to. Hell, you could even start mid-year and do it for half a year if you wanted to. So there's just a lot of customizability there in the experience, which is tremendous.
Yeah, I don't really have anything majorly negative to say about it. I mean, I think for what it is, the format obviously restricts what it can do, but within that format, it does a spectacular job.
Yeah, and the characters there's a broad range of characters, so you can pick one that feels good to you. And again, you're sticking with it the whole year, which is you really get attached to that character and get to know them and understand their spells and their special abilities. And yeah, it's really great. Just highly recommend this.
So what did you rate the quest calendar?
I rate the quest calendar a 9. And because it's a balance of, I really like a big chunky board game, and this is just a 2-minute experience, but it's also for a full year. Yeah. So it really is unlike almost anything else out there. And it's something that I've enjoyed playing now through 2 of them fully, and we're on our 3rd. And it's a 9 for me. It's a solid 9.
That's really high. So I gave it an 8.6. I just really enjoy it. Like you said, it's a full year experience. I've even replayed parts of it. I did parts of the first calendar multiple times. Like, I had no problem with that. It was really fun. It's just a fun experience because every time you might have more or less success, and you get to do it with a different character if you do it again. So it's really neat.
Yeah. So highly recommend this. Go get it. You can also download the digital, which is actually really inexpensive and a fine way to do it. That's how we did the 2022 calendar. So yeah, get yourself a quest calendar.
All right. And remember, every day that you game
is a holiday.
Bye.
Bye.